Hello students, warm greetings and welcome back to the science class. So we are again here to start another chapter of the book, that is chapter 3, materials of daily use. In this chapter we are going to study about the materials that we use daily, about the clothes we wear daily, about the fibers and the fabrics. So in your previous class, you have learned about the fibers and the types of fibers. So let us first quickly recall some knowledge regarding the fibers and the types of fibers. So starting with the very basic, we are having fibers. Now what are fibers? The fibers are the thin strands which are twisted and spun to form yarn or thread. Then the yarn or thread is weaved or knitted to make fabric. And fabric is what? Which we wear daily. We wear the pants and shirts. That is a kind of fabric. The fibers are used to make various useful items such as clothes, ropes, mats, bed sheets, curtains, etc. Now the fibers are obtained from various sources such as plants, animals and various chemical processes. And these plants and animals, these are the natural sources of fibers. And then comes the types of fibers. So we are having two types of fibers. First is the natural fibers and the second is the synthetic fibers. So coming to the natural fibers, what are the natural fibers? The fibers that are obtained from natural sources like plants and animals are called natural fibers. And the examples for the natural fibers are jute, wool, silk, cotton, linen, etc. Now the natural fibers are again classified into two categories: the plant fibers and the animal fibers. So first come the plant fibers. So what are plant fibers? The fibers that are obtained from plant parts such as stem, bark, leaf, seed, etc. of plants are called plant fibers. Jute, cotton, coir and lining, these are some examples of plant fibers. So here are these examples of plant fibers. First is the cotton we are seeing in front of us, the cotton balls that are obtained from the cotton plant. Then the second one is flax or the linen that is obtained from the flax plant. Third one is the jute that is obtained from jute plant, and the fourth that is coir that is obtained from coconut. And then comes the second one, that is the animal fibers. So what are animal fibers? The fibers that are obtained from animals, from the hair of animals or the insect cocoon. These are called animal fibers. And the best examples of animal fibers are wool and silk. Now talking about the animal fibers. The animal fibers are made up of proteins, and the wool that is formed by keratin protein, and the silk fibers that are made up of sericin and fibroin proteins. Here we are having the examples, silk and wool. So the silk is obtained from the silkworm or the insect cocoon, and the wool that is obtained from the hairs of different animals like sheep, goat, yak, lamb, camel, etc. Now in your previous class, you have studied in detail about the plant fibers, about the cotton and the jute. So in this session, in this class, in this chapter, we are going to study in detail about the animal fibers, about the wool and silk, talking one at a time. And then comes the synthetic fibers. So what are synthetic fibers? These are also called man-made fibers or the artificial fibers. So what are synthetic fibers? These are the fibers that are prepared artificially in the laboratories by humans. These are the synthetic fibers. Since they are prepared artificially, that is why they are known as artificial fibers, and since they are prepared by humans, that is why they are called man-made fibers. Now since in this chapter we are going to study in detail about the animal fibers, about the wool and the silk. So let us start our study and study the wool, that is a animal fiber. Now wool is the fiber that is obtained from the fleece of the sheep. Fleece is the hairy growth. But there is a difference between the fleece and the hair. Hair is actually the mass of thin thread-like structure that grows out of the skin. But talking about fleece, it is the thick covering of wool on a sheep used to make a piece of clothing. Now, the wool is obtained from the hairs of the animals, different animals like sheep, goat, yak, lamb, camel, etc. But the main source of wool is sheep. The wool yielding animal bears a thick coat of hair on its body. The hair traps a lot of air. And since the air is a poor conductor of heat, the hair keeps the animal warm and dry, allowing it to live in cold and harsh climate. The hairy skin of sheep has two types of fibers, the coarse beard hair and the fine soft underhair that is close to the skin. The fine soft hair provides the fibers for making woolen clothes, and the coarse beard hair, they provide the wool for making carpets. Some animals other than sheep also produce wool, like the yak, that is commonly found in Tibet and Ladakh. Then comes the Angora goat. It is found in the hilly regions such as Jammu and Kashmir, and the wool obtained from it is called Angora wool. Then comes the Kashmiri goat. The wool obtained from it is very soft and it is used in weaving fine shawls. These shawls are popular as Pashmina shawls in India. Then comes the camel. The fur on the body of the camel is also used as wool. Here comes llama and alpaca. They are found in South America and they yield wool. Now, for the wool to be of good quality, the sheep needs to be fed a nutritious diet. Apart from what they get from grazing, they are also fed with a mixture of pulses, corn and jowar. The sheep so rear develops a thick growth of hair. This hair is known as fleece of the sheep, which provides us wool. As I discussed about the two types of hair that is present on the sheep, out of these two types of hair, the fine soft underhair provides the fibers for making wool. Now, some breeds of sheep are specially chosen to give birth to sheep which possess fine soft hair only. We want some breeds of sheep that possess only the fine soft hair so that we have a good quality of wool. And the process in which parents are selectively chosen in order to obtain certain special features. In this case, what are the special features? We want just the fine soft hair. These are the special features we require in this case. So the process in which parents are selectively chosen in order to obtain certain fresh special features in their offsprings. That is called selective breeding, because we are having a selection. We are having the sort of selection according to our need. Also, certain breeds of sheep have thick coat of hair on their bodies and that yield wool in large quantities. So it is quite possible that we require the wool to be in large quantities. Such breeds of sheep are also selectively bred, with one parent being a sheep of a good breed. One parent will be the sheep of good breed and the second parent will be the one that is having a thick coat of hair on their bodies, so that we get good quality of wool in large quantities. The good quality of wool will be obtained from the good breed and the large quantity will be obtained from the second one, that is having thick coat of hair on their body. Moving on, let's study the process by which wool is obtained from a sheep, one step at a time. First, the fleece is removed from the body of the sheep and a machine is used for this purpose. The process of removing the fleece of the sheep from its body with the help of a machine is called shearing. Shearing does not hurt the sheep. This is because the uppermost layer of the sheep's body is dead. Usually the hairs are removed during the hot weather. This enables the sheep to survive without the protective coat of hair. Then the sheared skin with hair is washed thoroughly in tanks. This is usually done to remove the grease, dust and dirt, and this process is called scouring. The washed hairy skin is then sent to a factory where the hairs of different textures are separated or sorted. This kind of process is known as sorting, where the small fluffy fibers called burrs are picked out from the fibers. The fibers are dyed in various colors as the natural fleece of sheep and goat is black, brown or white, and this process is called dyeing. The fibers are then straightened and rolled into yarns. The process of straightening the fibers is known as carding. And finally, the wool is ready to use. Further, after combing and rolling into yarns, the threads of wool are formed by spinning 2, 3 or 4 strands of wool together as per our requirement. So the process of forming the threads of the wool is called spinning. The larger fibers are used to make sweaters and the shorter fibers are used to spin and weave woolen clothes by the process of weaving. So this is all with the study of first animal fiber, that is wool. So with this I end up today's class. In the next class we will be studying with the second animal fiber, that is silk. So till then, take care, stay safe, stay healthy and goodbye.